Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Christopher, and I'm joined by Ashton from the Ashton Sharrett YouTube channel. Ashton, why don't you explain what you do over on your channel? But
Yeah,
today we're
right
talking
on.
all things Acolyte, so I'm excited to talk to you because of your specialty, so to speak. So I'm
Awesome.
excited to get
Yeah,
some insight on that. So
dude, I'm excited to be back on the show and also to talk about Acolyte with you. So, yeah, I'm mostly active on Instagram at Ashton Sharrett. I also have a YouTube channel at Share It with Your Friends for a nice, fun little tag there. But yeah, basically, I mainly focus on the music of Star Wars. So I do like Star Wars breakdowns. I am a musician myself, and but I like to try to explain things in a way that the non-musician can find accessible, because we all love the Star Wars music. Like we all love it.
yes,
Rightfully so. And so yeah, just
yeah,
dorking out about music and Star Wars, and just recently started the Space Opera Music Podcast, or SOMP for short. So check that out too. But yeah,
yeah. Well, I'm excited to have you on because also what was it that George said? Like you're uh, during the behind the scenes for episode one, he said you're not watching the visuals, you're listening to the music, right? So
yeah, exactly.
something along those lines. So
Yeah, I mean, just yeah, the music is so important to the Star Wars story and like the Star Wars experience. So yeah, man. And yeah, I guess yeah, I'll let you like take it from there.
yeah, we'll get into the music in a little bit here. Got
Yeah.
some people in the chat. JT Lovecraft said,
Oh,
"Yo, Chris, this
JT, what's
guest you got
up?
on is top man." Yeah, I know it's
Yeah,
tough. It's
just
tough getting these top tier guys on, but like yeah, Ashton
no
knows his
way,
stuff. So
man. Dude,
it's
I don't
it'll be fun to chat. But
high praise. High praise.
yeah,
I
so
don't
yeah, yeah,
consider myself top tier, but thank you.
oh yeah, I think in your niche, like I don't know, I can't think of any other channels I follow that do Star Wars music
That's
that
true.
I can think of.
It is
So
super, super niche. You're right. That's a good point.
yeah, so
Yeah,
I mean yeah, um, but yeah, no, we're 4 episodes in, we're halfway through the Acolyte. Overall
halfway.
as a show, what are your thoughts on it? Are you enjoying it?
So overall, I am enjoying it. I'm on the enjoying it end of the spectrum overall. I do have some like nitpicky
Right.
but yeah, overall I'm enjoying it, and I really can't wait to see, like, we still have 4 more episodes, and we don't really know a lot still,
Yeah.
so I'm pumped. I think kind of like how Andor was a JT, um back at you, man. Kind of like how Andor was that slow burn kind of thing, like, everything hit the fan toward the end, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we just kind of got a glimpse of everything starting to hit the fan at the end of episode 4, and yeah, I'm pumped for the next 4 episodes.
Yeah. Yeah. I have my own kind of theories of what's to come, like how they're gonna pull it off with it being kind of like a mystery, a crime mystery set in Star Wars, right? So I have my own
Totally.
theories, which we'll get into later. But I kind of
Sure.
wanted to kind of go through like each episode and kind of give our own thoughts on each episode and what
Yeah.
they did and what we don't like, what we like. But like overall, I'm the same. Like I'm enjoying it. Um, like you said, like Andor, I think it is a slow burn. Like the I think the episodes were a little bit better paced than Andor. Like the first 2 episodes are great. The third one was a little bit slower paced, but I think uh, I think comparing it to Andor, I mean, it's still like comparing apples to oranges in a
It's
sense, but it's
totally
still
different, yeah.
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 But yeah, I just love all the on location stuff they did. Like it just makes everything seem more real, and you got
For
like
sure.
all the aliens and the costumes and stuff for all these different characters that just make it look so real, so lived in. So
Totally agree. Yeah, like it feels like real locations. Like I don't even know how to describe why that is, but yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, yeah. Star Wars Sith in the chat says,
Whoa,
"Let's go with the boys." Thanks for the
Tony.
super chat, Tony. Tony with the super chat
Super
there.
chat received. Thank you very much for your support.
Thank you,
Talk
sir.
about
Appreciate it.
top tier cats. Tony, man.
Tony, right? Like he's blowing up.
Yeah,
He's
rightfully
what, like
so.
15,000 subscribers? Yeah, and he puts in the work too. So,
Yeah,
but let's start off with episode 1 because we got the 2 episode premiere, I guess what,
right,
3 weeks ago now.
right.
So, episode 1, we got that opening scene with Indara. What did you think of that? Because like I feel like I was shocked to see that she was killed off so quick
Dude, yeah,
myself.
and yeah, at first I was like, "Wait, are you kidding me?" But then I
Yeah,
was like, "Oh, wait," like, I remembered all of the trailer footage of, and there's, like, obviously, like, so many scenes that we see her in, right? So it's like, "Oh, we're gonna get flashbacks." And so I was like, "Oh, okay, like, that's
yeah,
cool." Like, we get the end of the story first, right? And then we can start
yeah,
seeing more of her down the line. So after I, like, remembered, like, I have that to look forward to, I was like, "Oh, okay, this is gonna be cool." Um
yeah.
I think a lot of people forgot that, like, she would have more parts to the story than that. So, yeah, geez, the first 2 episodes kind of meld together for me.
Yeah,
Oh, geez, I guess so I know we see Pip for the first time. Pip is
yeah,
such a unique,
yeah.
like,
With Osha there.
instantly yeah, like, instantly unique new droid, that we've never seen
Yeah.
before. So that's pretty cool. Oh man, where does episode 1 even end? I totally
I'm trying to remember because this was a like we said, it was 3 weeks ago, right? We've come a long way already. Um,
and
I'm
they
trying to
both
remember.
meld
So
together. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it ends on that I can't remember the planet name, the ice planet where Sol
Oh, yeah.
and Yord and Jackie they go and get Osha and she almost falls off that cliff and he kind of
Right.
uses that force to pull her up. I loved all that. But like going back to
Yeah.
Carrie Ann Moss's character of Indara, like in the trailers, I thought it was just going to be like 2 different time periods. I thought it was going to show like her younger in the gold, the
Mm.
brown robes first, and then like when we saw her die in the first episode, like in the first 5-10 minutes there, I was like, okay, then we must be getting flashbacks then because
Yeah,
there's no way,
exactly.
yeah. So which I'm cool with. I like the flashbacks. They do the flashbacks really well in this show. I like that. Like we got that one whole episode just giving us all the like pretty much the story, like Osha's
Yeah.
side of the story, anyways, which
Right.
is cool.
Exactly. That's the key.
Which yeah, that's the key because that's only one point of view, Osha's point of view,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
So yeah, I do think we're gonna get some other stuff later, and uh, there
Hopefully.
was some other footage in the trailer where Kalnaka was fighting Torben, so we haven't seen that yet. So, but yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
and
I do have some thoughts on what's gonna happen later, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, that first episode, it did kind of mold into the second episode, and it fits so well. Like I like how they're doing that. Um, but yeah, a lot of action. The lightsaber fights were great. Um, I'm just trying to think. The second episode had the duel with Soul and May, where they're fighting.
right. Yeah, like, in, like, the city, and then, she escapes or
Yeah,
whatever. So, yeah, no, all of that was super tense, and, the choreography was pretty awesome.
yeah,
Um, yeah, pretty cool. One thing just to, like, nitpick, like, the one thing in the first 2 episodes that I was like, "What?" It was the silliest thing, and it was, whenever Yord was like, before they surround May, and May's just, like, walking down the
yeah,
street, and Yord is, like, has her on the, binoculars, right? Or scanner,
Yeah.
whatever that is. And but he's up on a balcony, like looking down at her. But whenever it shows the binocular view, it's from like the
Yeah,
side.
it's from ground level. Yeah.
And I was
Yeah, I did notice
like
that. I never
it broke
really
my brain.
I never really
Yeah.
cared about. Yeah, I don't think it broke my brain like it did for you, but yeah, no,
I
I
was
did
like,
notice
"Wait."
that too.
I was like, "Where's your like, I'm so confused right now." And then I was like, "Oh, like it's just a weird like perspective shift for some reason." So like so nitpicky, right? Like that was just like one thing that I was like, "Why?" I don't know. But
Yeah.
honestly, dude, like everything else, I was just like waiting. I'm just like waiting for like answers and things like, oh my gosh, like things are happening
Yeah.
and what's going on. Like I'm just like looking forward to letting the story unfold. That was kind of my
Yeah.
vibe. And I mean, it's still my vibe, but like totally was my vibe the first 2 episodes. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, love the action.
yeah,
Loved the acting. A lot of people aren't too happy with the acting. A lot of people are
I don't.
complaining about the acting, but I think a
Yeah, I
lot
don't
of
know.
those people are the same people who just like to complain about acting in all of the Disney Star Wars stuff. So
I mean, dude, that's the thing. Like we've heard all of this same stuff before. Like with whenever the
yeah,
Phantom Menace came out, there was the same kind of crowd, like
yeah,
complaining about Jake Lloyd's acting and stuff, which I never. Maybe it's because I grew up with them as a kid, right?
yeah,
Just like kids watching The Acolyte. This might be their first thing that they're like falling in love with Star Wars with, just like the Phantom Menace was the first thing for some other kids. So,
yeah,
yeah, I don't know if it was just because I was a kid, but like I've always loved Jake Lloyd in the Phantom Menace. Even now, like I get emotional at some of his dialogue. Like especially between him and Shmi. So yeah, I just yeah, I think you're right. I think I don't know. I don't know if it's an age thing or like you just get jaded
yeah. It
as you
could be
get
an
older
age thing.
thing. I don't
Yeah,
know, but it's the same type of vibe. So
yeah. A
yeah,
lot of people were saying like Vernestra and like particularly like the Jedi characters felt a little unemotional, I guess. But I think that's what they're supposed to be like in this time period,
yes,
right? Like
like
they're supposed to be
this
like a
is
little
fine.
stoic,
Yes, stoic, unemotional,
right?
pompous, right? Like
Yeah,
stately in like a um yeah, like in a pompous, cocky way or in a way. Yeah, I mean, all of
yeah,
that fits the picture of the Jedi Order that's being painted here. Like
yeah,
it's on purpose, in other words. So yeah, I think it fits fine.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I've got no problem with that. I enjoy
yeah,
that. The character of Soul.
yeah,
How what do you think of Soul? Because Soul is probably my favorite character from the Acolyte right now, and
yeah,
like just the similarities between him and Qui Gon, because we know he kind of based his character off of Qui Gon because I think he said in an
yeah,
interview or something that that's where he pulled inspiration from, which is like
right.
you can see you can tell that in the first two
Totally, man.
episodes.
Totally, and it's so cool, like, I didn't, see that interview footage or read that interview footage
Yeah,
until, a few episodes in, and, like, yeah, immediately, I was like, "This is such a Qui-Gon-esque character," um,
yeah,
in just his demeanor and, like, also his, I guess, how he approaches the Jedi Order, and, like,
yeah,
just, just been not bending the rules, but kind of bending the rules, I guess. Yeah, totally Qui-Gon figure. So, yeah, I'm loving Soul. And
yeah,
I'm really curious, you can tell in his delivery and everything and how his character is written, you can tell that he has some pretty severe regret that's haunting him. Um,
yeah,
so I can't wait to see, what that ends up being, and him kind of grappling with that in full force. But
yeah,
the I think that's in the meditation scene with all the younglings. I think
yeah,
that's where the image that the one kid had of the fire. I think that's where that came from. I think perhaps that was kind of that imagery was bleeding out from Soul, perhaps. Just like something that's haunting him, and that kid picked up on it. That's my
picked up on it.
headcanon for
I never
that.
really thought about that, but I like
Yeah,
that.
because it's a fire, right? And like this whole thing, and like Soul carries this weight, you can just tell. And yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that's where that kid may have, gotten that. And obviously that triggers Soul. And yeah, that's my headcanon so far with that,
Yeah.
Soul's character,
Yeah.
and his the haunting that he's grappling with.
Yeah. And the actor who plays him, Lee Jung Jae, I think is how you say his name, from the
Yeah.
Squid Games. Like
Yeah.
he was great in the Squid Games. He's a great actor, and I just love that. I love that he learned English just to get this
Dude,
role.
so
Like
dope.
that's
Come on.
yeah,
So
right.
much
Like
props. Like,
that speaks volumes,
for real, dude. And
right?
like, yeah, just, the dedication. I mean, just that alone is
Yeah,
like, dude, that's awesome. Like, love that.
yeah.
Yo, yo.
Eric Sire Speed Reviews says, "What's up, fellas? Hey, Eric. Thanks for hopping in. My
What's going
co-host
on?
on the Tuesday live stream, Rebel Rewind.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, Soul's just he's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think Amanda Stenberg is doing a really great job as well, like portraying both twins. Like I love her
For sure.
portrayal. I think I love her portrayal of May a little bit more than Osha right now.
Yeah.
But I think
Nice.
that's going to turn. I think it's going to change. I think it's going to change though. I
Oh,
think things
man.
are going to change, and
Yeah,
I might
I'm
switch.
not
I think.
sure which. Oh, no, I haven't actually thought about this. I'm not sure which one I like more. I guess I would lean more Osha.
Yeah,
But I tend to lean that way, like more light side leaning, I guess. So,
yeah.
yeah, I think I'm leaning more Osha. They're both awesome. Yeah, Amanda is crushing it. She's doing great. And also this is crazy. I did a reel on Instagram, about that there's this recurring theme in the Acolyte that is really
Yeah.
interesting to me. And, so I did a breakdown of it, and I think it's a theme for Osha and May, depending on how it's played. But anyway, I did a video breakdown of it, and Amanda liked it.
Oh,
Like, she
nice.
liked my video. I was like, "Whoa!" I was just like, still kind of starstruck at that. So pretty cool. Um,
Yeah.
if I do say so. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have that clip handy? Do you?
Yeah, actually, yeah, I
Yeah,
do. Here, let
if you wanted
me.
to try and share that,
Yeah, no, totally, man, totally. Let
let's try
me.
because yeah, I think I watched that video of yours, but just
Yeah,
for people
nice.
watching, so they know which theme you're talking about, which reoccurring theme.
Yeah, and from here on out, be listening for it because it's picking up steam. Like in episode 4, for example, this theme is like all over the place. So just like I
Yeah,
expected, it's evolving. Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen. You can like
yeah.
hide my
If you're
screen if
able
you
to,
want, but
yeah,
yeah, I'll just like share the tab audio. I have a few things here actually, but this is um this is the theme. Sorry if it's kind of loud. Google Drive does this. I'll try to turn it down, but this is the theme. Whoops. Here, I'll play that again. So that
yeah,
motif, that plays all over the place, like quite a bit. That like specifically, you can hear it really well. I think it's in episode 1, whenever Soul is looking at the hologram of Osha in the
yeah,
training room. So
yep.
that scene, you can hear it really well, and it's all throughout all of the episodes. We get a um more somber take, like a slightly reharmonized take of it that sounds like this. So almost the same motif, but just like slightly different notes.
Yeah,
What's crazy though, so that's like the emotions that I feel like are that are connected with that motif and those collection of notes are kind of like somber, and like
Yeah.
thoughtful and pensive vibes, I guess. This clip though, this is what had me thinking, oh, like, are we getting like a theme for OSHA and a theme for May? We get we get this in the end credits of episode 1, I think, or maybe it's episode 2, but this is the end credits. Check this motif that's playing in the strings.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So like it's like that same motif, but like distorted and dissonant and like off, you know, but it's the same like intervallic motion kind of. Um so yeah, kind of crazy. So that's yeah,
Yeah.
that's really it. That motif just really short thing, but it's played everywhere. So
Yeah. I think
keep your ears out.
because I think I heard it in episode 4, but like it was kind of like I don't know the music lingo, but it was kind of like almost like the Sith dark side ish feeling.
Yeah, yeah. No, totally, totally. Very yeah, it's getting whenever they play like the dissonant version of it, it's getting more
Yeah.
dark. Um yeah. So keep your ears out for that little motif. We're gonna be hearing a lot more of it.
Yeah. But even in like episodes 1 and 2, like I heard a lot of music. I can't remember the composer's name. You mentioned it before we hopped on here.
Yeah, Michael Abels.
Yeah, Michael Abels. Yeah, I'm not like super familiar with his work, but he's nailing it with the music. In
Oh,
episodes
man.
1 and 2, like I really noticed stuff that sounded like the prequels. Like a lot of it sounds like prequel music. I heard
Yeah.
like stuff that's very similar to when the speeder chase happens. There's some of those drums there.
Yes, you're
In
right.
one,
The
I can't remember
percussion.
what scene it was in, but yeah, the percussion.
No,
So
totally. Totally, dude. And like
yeah,
this,
I can't remember
like
what scene it was, but I think it was in the first episode
I
that I
think
heard
you're
it.
right. Yeah, no, that
Yeah,
the his use of percussion is very like prequels-esque. And just like his use of harmony and like all of the orchestral layers that we're getting and stuff, like it's so John Williamsy and like prequels feeling. It just sounds so good. Like this
yeah,
thing, I'll play you another clip really quick. Um,
yeah,
this was also in one of the end credits, but we hear it throughout the first couple episodes.
yeah,
Right?
yeah. You hear this actually a few times.
Yeah, like quite a bit. It's also kind of a recurring thing, which is exactly like this this clip,
Yes,
right? Like
yeah,
it's like not
yeah.
exactly, but it's totally
But
derived from that, you know?
that's exactly what it reminded me of too when I heard that clip
Yeah.
as well.
No,
Because
totally,
that was
totally.
what that was from the Phantom Menace, wasn't it? When I'm trying to think
Attack
of
of the
what scene that was
Clones,
from. Attack of the Clone.
actually,
Oh
the
yeah,
the
Camino.
Camino. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm,
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah,
mhm.
no, and yeah, the music's just incredible. Like you said,
Oh,
it
man.
does sound very John Williams. I'm not too familiar with his work. Like, do you know what other work he's done?
Yeah, he's worked on, he's done a quite actually quite, diverse spread of different things.
Yeah.
In like lots of different genres. He's worked on a bit of Jordan Peele works.
Oh, like his horror
So
stuff. Yeah.
yeah, so like Get Out, that movie Get Out, another movie called Us, um, you know, that he's done. So yeah, like pretty diverse catalog of sounds and things.
Yeah.
Just yeah, I mean, he's just. I honestly I wasn't very familiar with his work before this either, but yeah, man, he's doing great, loving it, absolutely loving it.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, overall, the first 2 episodes I really enjoyed. I think until we got episode 4, I think the first 2 episodes were probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Nice.
now I'm kind of leaning episode 4 right now. But yeah, between episode 1 and 2, like there wasn't too much hate from that. But then we got to episode 3, which was like the entire episode was a
Oh,
big flashback.
yeah,
We got the witches there. We got to learn got to see May and Osha as younger children, about what I think they said 8 years old, I think. Which
I think so.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The actresses seemed like they might have been a bit older portraying the younger children. I don't think they seemed like they were
I don't know. Yeah, I
8
actually
years
don't
old.
know their
Like
ages.
they seemed pretty mature for 8.
Yeah, I'm not sure how old they are. I honestly haven't looked, but yeah, dude, I don't know if I've actually told anyone this yet. Maybe I have. I don't know, but episode 3 was actually my favorite one.
Oh, really?
Of the
Okay.
first 3, actually episode 4, I think I'm liking the most, but it was like 1, 2, and then 3 for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, but because of the just insane discourse, I've not really said that before, I don't think, but yeah, dude, I really
Tony is surprised.
dude,
What?
I really liked episode 3. I really did, man.
I enjoyed it. I
Um,
enjoyed episode 3. I did, like I said, I liked the first 2 episodes. Like at the point when episode 3 came out, I liked the first 2 more just because of the action. But
true, true.
I like all the lore and stuff that it brought
So, yeah,
in with
like, the
episode 3.
lore, I really loved Mother Anastasia. Yeah, yeah. I really loved Mother Anastasia. Like, in my opinion, I
Yeah.
thought she was a total badass. Like,
Yeah.
powerful, you could tell, and, like but, like, controlled as well. Just very, like
Right.
I don't know, just, like, a very powerful figure. I thought she was awesome. I also really loved how she was handling OSHA's individualness, like saying,
Yeah.
the whole like Anakin Shmi parallel everyone was making, like saying, you can't make a decision out of fear, like ultimately you got to do what you want to do. And that was cool.
Yeah.
I actually wasn't expecting that from like the head of the coven. Um, but I also, well, so two more big things, I guess, to not be too long winded. The one being I actually did really like seeing the witches and stuff. I thought that
Yeah.
the ascension ceremony was super uncomfortable, but I was like,
I think
this is
it's meant to make you
weird.
it's meant to make you feel like that though. I think that's what it is.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly,
purposely
exactly.
done.
Yes, and so I was like, that was so strange, and yeah, like, these are crazy witches, right? Like, dark witches. So yeah, I was like, yeah, that made me uncomfortable, like, how I would probably feel around a bunch of dark witches in their coven. So, yeah, like, that was cool. I also liked seeing the Jedi, come in and,
Yes.
stuff's about to go down, and I I guess what it all comes down to was, what it all comes down to for me with episode 3 was getting answers. Like, we actually at the end of it didn't really see exactly what happened, obviously. We still actually don't know what happened, but we get a
Yeah.
lot of answers to what I was wondering in the first 2 episodes. Like, did the Jedi were the Jedi there? Like, where was the coven? Like how did this kind of go down? And I got all of that. Like, I got some insight, and that's what made me appreciate the 3rd episode, the most, I guess. So those are my episode 3 thoughts. So,
Yeah.
let's see,
Yeah.
what is this?
Uh Eric said I listened to the background
Oh,
music, but
man.
I never really paid too much attention. But Ashton, your breakdowns on the sound and music
Dude,
is making me appreciate it and listen more now. Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely.
Thank you.
And
That's the
the
goal.
same goes
I
for
love
me. Like the same goes for me too. Like I listened to the music and I heard the music, but like after watching your videos, like I'm hearing like the common sounds, I guess,
Yeah.
those 2 clips we played, like how it sounded
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the Camino music, right? It's not the same, but it
Exactly.
sounded very similar.
Dude, yeah.
Patrick
Love that.
Poptography says hello there, fellas. Hey, Patrick.
General Poptography.
Yeah.
um,
um,
yeah,
yeah. So
dude.
episode 3, sure, like, because I heard rumors before the episode, like there were rumors floating around that episode 3 was gonna break the fandom with
Oh, right.
for
Oh
like
shoot,
quite
we
a
didn't
few
even talk about
reasons.
that,
Quite a few
dude. Yeah,
reasons.
didn't even talk about that.
So the first was like the first thing I like one of the first things I saw was how it was going to change how the Force is seen, which I don't think it does. So like the witches call it the thread, right? But
Right.
the witches of Dathomir call it the thread of destiny or whatever, right?
Yeah,
And
I
they
mean
do
that's
the
the
same
thing.
thing
Like, right.
in the Ahsoka series, right? So I think
Totally.
it's like it's really like religion. Like you got
Yeah. Yeah.
Christians and Judaism, I think, right? Like and that
And
but a bunch of different
Catholicism.
religions
Yeah.
were yeah, and
Right.
they all worship the same God, but it's like that they have the they interpret it differently, right? So it's kind of like the Force, like the Jedi you call it the
Yeah.
Force and they interpret it differently, but the witches may use different parts of it and
Right.
like
Or
just
manipulate it
interpret
in
it
different
different.
ways. Yeah,
Yeah,
like manipulate it in different ways and things. So yeah, totally. No, I think yeah, we just got another view of the Force. I don't think it changes
yeah.
anything like crazy
No, I
canonically.
don't think it does.
Same goes for the creation of the twins. I know that was like a big
Yes.
deal and like you're retconning Anakin. But like
Yeah.
why can't this be a precursor to Plagueis or something? You know, like why can't this
Yeah.
be maybe even an experiment of like like there are so many other possibilities that could actually be cool besides a retcon complaint,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
So
I'm looking
you
forward
don't think it
like
retconned it then?
no, I don't. I think if anything, it's a precursor
Yeah.
to those events, you know? Yeah, I mean, that's my take on it. You know, I don't see why it couldn't be. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a hot take apparently, but yeah, I don't know,
Oh, it
man.
is, yeah.
I'm excited to see we still have 4 more episodes, so I'm excited to see how much more of this we're gonna, like, get into,
Yeah. Yeah.
and, like, how does this play out into, like, the galactic storyline? So,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I don't think it retcons Anakin's story at all because Anakin was created by the Force itself, um, to like balance out what Plagueis and Sidious were trying to do with the Force. Like they were messing around with the Force and trying to do stuff as far as I know. And the Force created Anakin. Like there was no um there was nobody involved in that. It was just the Force that created him, right? But the twins here, like Mother Anastasia, used the Force, or even like she didn't even say she used the Force. Like she said, if the Jedi found out how we created the twins, like she
Yeah,
said,
like,
you carried them, and I can't remember the exact line that she said, but she
I I think
did
she said,
something to
I created them," and then the
yeah,
other
and
chick
the
is
other
like
one carried
yeah,
them. I carried them. Yeah,
right, and, like, what
but
if they find out how you
I think
created them?
like
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't think she like I think she used whatever magic they used or whatever part of the Force they used, and I think she just um I don't know, like implanted the eggs or something, or did something
Um,
to fertilize the eggs using magic. I don't think it had anything to do with it had nothing to do with Anakin's story. If anything, I agree with you. Like it could be like a precursor to Plagueis and stuff, but I also think it could be this Force, the first Force dyad that we hear about in episode 9 when Palpatine says, you know, the power of two, like this Force dyad. We haven't seen it um, in a millennia or
generation.
over a millennium or something. In generations, that's what it was, right? So I think this could be that first Force dyad because we
Yeah,
kind of see
because
the
I mean,
scenes
this
in yeah, sorry, in the first I think it was the first episode where you see May and Osha in that kind of when they were younger in that flashback, and they're kind of walking through their home
Yeah,
planet and stuff,
I think so.
and I feel like that felt very Force Dyad-ish as well. Like they're both
Mhm.
communicating and feel sensing each other from like, you know, who knows how far away, right, they were at this time in like
Right.
distance wise. So I feel like that felt very dyad like. So I think that's what we're seeing play out here, the first Force Dyad.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would be totally fine with that. Because
Yeah.
it is the timeline would be, yeah, generations, right? Um,
Yeah,
so
generations, yeah.
yeah, I'd be fine, totally fine with that.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. And then another thing people weren't okay with was the fact like the witches were all women and they're saying, you know, that they're just lesbian witches, which I don't know, I don't agree with. Like yeah, Mother Coral and Mother Anastasia, they could be in a relationship. It kind of seemed like that's what they were hinting at, but I don't think it was forced. Like they didn't force that on you. They didn't force that on the viewer. Um, it's
Yeah.
very subtle. So
Yeah, there wasn't like you know, there wasn't a scene where everyone's taking their clothes off or something, like,
right,
I think
exactly.
everyone can relax a little bit, you know?
I think so too. Yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, no. Overall, the third episode, I really enjoyed. Like I said, I like the action in the first two episodes more, but
right.
just the stuff that it added to our current Star Wars lore just enriched it.
Yeah, that's dude, excellently put. Yeah, I think everything that we got enriched it, and then, like, zooming into the Acolyte season, I think it added a lot of suspense and, like, questions, like, it
Yes.
gave us a hint at things, but we have a lot of questions,
Oh yeah.
like, we really don't know anything that happened on the other side of the door whenever Osha's, like,
Yeah.
locked in that room, like, we've no idea what all happened,
No.
what all went
No.
down, so we're
Yeah.
gonna find out.
Yeah. Like I said, we only saw OSHA's point of view, right?
Right,
Her perspective. And
yeah,
we saw some of the fire, but then we saw the witches all dead there
and not
and we
smoking and burnt and, like,
not,
Owen
not smoke
Lars like
no,
a
not
skeleton
smoking.
either.
Yeah, not burnt.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, so there was something else there. I think we're gonna see that in one of the next episodes. We're gonna see like May's point of view and what happened with what the Jedi did, because I feel like the Jedi are connected somehow to that.
well, yeah, and dude, I mean, someone pointed this out, I didn't catch this the first watch through, but someone pointed this out. When Osha wakes up on the ship, after all of that goes
Yeah,
down, Kalnaka's nowhere in sight, and not Master, Padawan Torben has his face is all scarred up.
the scar. Yep.
So, like,
Yeah,
stuff went down.
I noticed the scar, but I didn't notice that Kamaka wasn't on the ship. So yeah, I didn't catch
Yeah,
that either. JT said there are gripes that people have that have valid points, but like all of
yes,
the female dominated witch coven is already done on Dathomir. Yeah, he has a point, right? Like it's been done.
exactly,
It's been done. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Gripping for straws or grasping for straws, like JT says.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, and one thing that Eric Sire Speed Reviews pointed out to me, just like I think I noticed it, but I didn't really think about it when I was watching it until I rewatched it, and he mentioned it to me that like the Jedi are really in this point of power where they can come in and they can be like, no, you're raising these children, you're you can't let them, you can't teach them this. Like we're the only ones who can teach these force sensitive children.
mhm,
Like they're in a place of high power right now, and
so
this show is showing how high they were in power and that huge fall they took when it comes to episode 3, like the Revenge of the Sith. Like they took a big fall from that high power there, like that high
totally, man.
pedestal that they were on. So
Yeah, yeah, there's definite abuse of power vibes and, like,
oh yeah,
arrogant vibes, and which
yeah,
is
they're like dirty
perfectly,
cops.
yeah, in a way, Yeah, or just yeah, abuse of power situation there. Yeah, I mean, not to segue too quickly away from episode 3 and into episode 4, but, like, that arrogance and, like, no, this like, we're in control. That whole vibe is perfect,
Yeah,
who else to perfectly, exemplify that than Ki-Adi-Mundi, right? Who we get in episode 4, we see that same
in episode
vibe.
4.
In the prequels, right, we see
Yeah,
Ki-Adi-Mundi, like, he's the one who's like, "Oh, the Sith? You're joking. We haven't seen them for a millennia. Like, get out of here." And
yeah,
even though Qui-Gon
yeah,
is literally like, "Yo, I just fought one. Like, what are you talking about?"
yeah,
Like, the whole council's like, "No." Right? So, yeah, like, it makes complete sense to me, that like this story of the Jedi that they're telling, and it is spot on in my opinion that Ki-Adi-Mundi is there, like kind of saying the same
yeah,
stuff. It's like, yeah,
yeah,
I'm not surprised.
yeah.
So
Um, kind of bouncing around a little bit. Chimere, the character of Chimere, because we got introduced to
mm,
Chimere in episode 2, and
yeah,
he is just like he's giving off some very suspicious vibes. Um, I
yeah,
think they're setting him up for the audience to think that he's a Sith. Like a couple
yeah,
like
he's
even
gonna be
before I saw this last episode, I thought he was going to be the Sith because like he overpowers May when he meets up with her again after May's fight with Soul, and he like overpowers her. Like she's trained, like she's a very well trained fighter and stuff, and he overpowers her really quickly. But like also
mhm,
like some of the stuff he says, it's very similar to the stuff um, the Sith apprentice, because I think this guy's just the apprentice. I don't think he's the actual master. The Sith, it's very similar to the stuff he says at the end of the first episode, like about like the dream being crushed and that stuff, right? Like you kill
mhm,
the dream, the acolyte kills the dream, but like Chimere says, the what is it? The dream is a lie or something, or peace is a lie. Their dream of peace is a lie, or something like that
mhm,
along
mhm.
those lines.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
dude.
I think that actor is doing really well too. Really, really great job of playing that role. Manny Jacinto, I think,
Mhm,
is who that
yeah,
is. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, no, he is doing great. Yeah, I think he's pretty sus. I think I don't
yes,
know, maybe I'm falling for it, but if I had to put money on it right now, I'd be like, yeah, like he's totally the like teethy Sith guy. Um,
yeah,
just it's like, yeah, like but it is kind of being set up in a pretty obvious like way where they could pull like this Scooby Doo on you and like, no, it's not Khmer at all, and um,
yeah,
I don't know, man. It's if it is that guy, it's pretty interesting because whenever he's not in the teethy Sith costume, he's like this very like Jack Sparrow-y character, like
yeah. He's playing the
clumsy, like
fool.
drunk, and like yeah, like playing the fool.
Yeah,
And whenever he's in costume, it's like we saw that stuff at the end of episode 4. Like he's not messing around.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know, man.
And that was another episode. Like a lot of people had some gripes with a few things in that episode. I think the big thing was the Kiadi Mundi showing up,
I
which
love all the Ki-Adi-Mundi super fans right now. This is
yeah,
loving it. All of a
everyone's like,
sudden.
oh, it ruins what George did. It retcons canon, but like the I think his age wasn't really canon. I think it was legend stuff. His actual age is what I read somewhere.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. And even if it dude, even if it was canon, like, is it really something that changes and alters the, like, path of the universe in the Star Wars
No,
galaxy? No. Like, we can
no,
change something like that to, like, expand the lore of a species, but, like you said, it wasn't even canonical,
no.
his date of birth. So, it's, again, just I don't know, man. Just people grasping for straws. Unfortunately, just like really, like, I don't know, kind of silly. I for one
Yeah,
love it. I think it's
yeah,
cool to have this species and know that they live longer. Whereas on the flip side, we get that the Keldor species, which is Plo
yeah,
Koon's species. We get
yeah,
another one of them, but it's a female Keldor. It's not Plo Koon.
yeah.
And so it's like, oh, like maybe that species doesn't live as long as Kiadimundi species, like because maybe we would have
Right.
seen Plo Koon if they lived like longer. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, totally fine with Kiadimundi. I think it's dope. I think,
Yeah,
dude, literally, I made a meme of this the other day of all of the Jedi Council members to choose.
yeah,
Like, you don't think that they chose Ki-Adi-Mundi on purpose to, like, show the, like, blatant arrogance of the Jedi Order and, like,
yeah,
dismissal vibes? Like, of
yeah,
course they chose Ki-Adi-Mundi on purpose. Like, yes,
yeah, yeah.
it makes
Everything was
perfect sense.
purposeful. Yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah. And another thing they had a problem with was that it kind of throws a wrench in his line from the Phantom Menace, where he says, the Sith were have been extinct for over a millennium. But I don't think it does, because like not once in Episode 4 did they say, "Oh, this she was trained by a Sith." They mentioned another group. I can't remember the group's name. They mentioned another group, but then they said, "Oh, she was trained by one of us." So they're assuming it was like a Jedi. They don't mention the Sith. So I think it still makes sense that he doesn't believe that the Sith have been around for over a millennium. So I think it still makes
right.
sense.
And yes, and even further, like, it's Qui-Gon Jinn telling them, "Yo, I just fought a Sith." And Ki-Adi-Mundi is like,
Yeah,
"No, that's impossible." Like,
yeah,
if anything, it helps that line in The Phantom Menace, because it's like, yeah, like, the
yeah,
Jedi Order have been so dismissive of these little, like, I think they called it, a splinter in Acolyte
yeah,
Episode 4. So, like, they've been so dismissive and, yeah, so, yeah, it's exhausting talking, like, ha trying to, like, be like, "No, dude, like, this actually makes perfect sense." Like, it's
yeah,
gotten so exhausting. But
yeah,
yeah, I found no issue with that whatsoever.
yeah. I didn't either, and I love that he wants to go tell the High Council, which would be like Yoda at this time, and
Yes.
maybe Plo
Yes.
Koon might be on the High Council at this time if he's alive, which I
Yeah.
think he does, because I think his species lives like a few hundred years. Doesn't
Oh,
doesn't his
beautiful.
species live to be? Yeah.
Perfect.
So Plo
Perfect.
Koon could be on the High Council at this time, right? So
Yeah,
I
perfect.
I,
Yeah.
I love that Kiadi Mundi wants to do the right thing, but then they're like, no, no, we got to keep this hush hush. They'll go talk to the Senate, and then we're gonna have this big political thing going on, right? And then we're
Yeah.
gonna lose our power, pretty much, is what she was saying, right? So I
Dude,
love
yeah,
that.
that's the
I love this
crazy
cover
thing.
up.
Yes, like, they are so embedded in politics at this point already, like,
Yeah,
such a sign of or such a precursor to downfall, you know? Um, yeah, so good.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, that fall to power. It's just making that fall from this powerful position down to nothing. Like it's making that really. It's enhancing it again. Like it's
Yeah,
enhancing that
it's
story.
well, it's extending the timeline, like
Yeah,
it doesn't just go from episode 1 to Revenge of the Sith and, like, like, perfection to complete and utter downfall in that span of time. Like, this is
yeah,
extending that timeline, and it's a slow evolution, like a slow downward evolution,
yeah,
just like it is in real life. So,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, super cool. Loving that part
yeah,
of it.
yeah. But clearly things are being covered up. Um,
Mhm.
I know we're kind of like bouncing around quite a bit here, but like
It's hard not to.
clearly things are. Yeah, I know things are getting covered up, because we see in episode 3 again, like we see all the witches are dead. Um, we see Kalmaka's not on the ship like you mentioned, and Vernestra Rowe said, we don't want to talk to the High Council and all that. So like they're okay with covering this up, and I'm enjoying that part of it. And I think we're gonna get more answers in the back half of the season, like of what actually went on there. Were the Jedi involved? Was this Sith master there who was it the Sith who saved May from that fall? Like it's a lot of questions still, even though we got some answers, but a lot of questions still.
Dude, one thought that I've been having recently is because at that point we only have 4 episodes left. Like
Yeah.
there's at this pacing, we're gonna run out of time, to like get everything that we are wanting to get out of this. So that the past couple of days I've been thinking about. I don't know if they like officially have talked about a season 2 of Acolyte yet. Like I don't know if that was like pre-greenlit or anything, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna be super pissed if this like crazy downvoting or whatever you call it, like before the show was even out, people were like bad review bombing the Acolyte.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be so pissed if we don't, if they purposefully have left this season 1 like with a lot of loose ends that would lead right into a sweet season 2, and like we don't get a season 2 because of these
everyone's all these trolls and all these
like
toxic fans who are
like, dude, like I'm gonna be so pissed like this. So I've been thinking about that and like kind of like pre-bumming myself out, so I'm not like too crushed if that does happen. But I guess all that to say, I hope that we get enough loose ends tied up and a lot more answers or a lot more questions answered in these last 4 episodes. That's my hope. But
I hope so as well. Another theory I saw, like which I like this theory because we talked about it a little bit just a couple moments ago about Chimera possibly being that Sith, like Darth Smiley or whatever, Smilo Ren or whatever people are calling him right now.
Smilo Ren, that's a good one.
Yeah. Like it is like he looks guilty AF right now of being that Sith guy, right? And especially in episode 4 where he gets hung up by May, like he gets trapped by May, but then you don't see him, and then all of a sudden the Sith guy's there. Like, how did he get there so fast? Is he carrying that whole helmet and stuff in his bag there? It's like
a bag of stuff.
But they're setting him up to be that guy. But then I saw Star Wars fanatic Gerald, who has a great channel. He does a lot of theory videos and stuff like that. And he was saying that Mother Coral, you don't see her body in the in episode 3, and I was like, I'm gonna have to rewatch that. But he also mentioned like she's got the yellow and red eyes, which I didn't notice before. And
that's a good point.
Usually the yellow and red eyes are Sith eyes, right? So could she be the one who saved May there and killed the rest of the coven? And
so 2 thoughts that come to mind. So one, I did actually see someone mention that it might have been him, but how there's like a lot of parallels between Acolyte and the Phantom Menace right now, and with like Anakin and Shmi and Osha and Anastasia, and or Mother Anastasia, and how oh shoot, I always forget her name. The Dathomir chick, she has she's Dathomir. She has the horns, just like Darth Maul, who was the Sith figure in the Phantom Menace, like has horns. Like there's just like could be that parallel, right? So that's one thought. The other thought is, okay, Smilo Ren's helmet, the teeth design, everyone's talking about it. This is super Abeloth looking.
Abeloth,
like it's pretty uncanny Abeloth design. So it would make complete sense for her to be this thing. Either I don't know, like maybe Abeloth worshipping, or I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
who
see.
knows, right? Because
Yeah. We'll see,
maybe
man.
these witches worship Abeloth, right?
I mean, that's kind of what I have been thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah. Just hold on. I'm gonna share an image. I'm gonna share an image here of
Yeah,
Mother Coral because she does have. It does kind of look like she has red, yellow eyes, which would be Sith eyes, right?
I don't know, man.
But I mean, they're kind of lighter, but like I can see why people would think maybe red and yellow.
Yeah, yeah, man. I don't know. It would make complete sense, but
I know.
also, what do Dathomiri look like in live action?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
Um,
yeah. We've only seen really Darth Maul, right, in live
yeah,
action. So
but I mean, yeah, but
yeah,
at that, like, yeah, it's not like he was like super raging pissed all the time and his eyes like fluctuated, right? Like they were just always that color, even whenever he was like
yeah,
calmly talking to like Sidious on the balcony, right? So yeah, like Mother Coral, like, yeah, maybe she's totally secretly Sith or something. I don't know, man.
yeah.
That would be
Still
nuts.
a lot of questions to be answered.
So many
Hopefully they
questions.
do answer. Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully they do answer them. Swiffer Wet Jet Nick,
Mm,
thanks for hopping in the chat. Yeah, so well, let's move into some predictions for the last half. Like you already said, you want some stuff to get answered. Um, how do you think it
yeah,
plays out?
I think Soul dies.
Yeah,
I think he dies. I think, because just, like with all of the Phantom Menace parallels that we're getting, and Soul is that Qui-Gon figure. Qui-Gon
yeah,
dies, like, and kind of passes the baton to someone, which I would assume would be
yeah,
potentially Osha. Um, I don't know. That's a huge prediction that I have. I'm also predicting that, and maybe it's more of a hope than a prediction, but I am hoping, I guess, that we do in fact get an Abeloth connection. Um, I think that would be super cool and just makes sense with the like whole teeth design mask thing.
yeah.
Um, dude, I mean, other than that, like I predicted just a couple weeks ago that Kalnaka would live, and well, now here we are. So I don't know. Those are my
Yeah,
only
right.
two
Yeah.
predictions at the moment. So
Well, you got to think like for them to for this cover up to work and like the High Council not to know anything, and and Kiadi Mundi not to know anything about this. Either all of these Jedi on Kofar, I think is the planet,
mhm,
they all have to die by the Sith, or the
yeah,
ones who survive don't say anything. So it's
yeah, something, or the political side of things really comes into play, and like they
yeah,
can't say too much or investigate too much or whatever the case, because of the political ramifications. Yeah, no,
yeah,
that's a good point, man. I mean, yeah, I've thought about that too. Like, what a perfect way for none of this to really get out if everyone dies. Like, there's no evidence to,
yeah,
besides dead bodies, and they can't talk, right? So, yeah, I don't know,
right,
man. Actually, that brings up this is like kind of a total rabbit hole, but I do, like you said, jumping around, inevitably jumping around. Another sound design thing was, whenever Sol and Yord, the whole crew, are looking for Osha on the ship on the ice planet.
yeah,
Whenever Sol, you remember whenever he was like, "Oh, she's this way," and starts running that way. Right whenever
yeah.
he's like making that realization, if you listen really closely, we hear it's super quiet, but we hear like a really faint um force essence chime like we get in the Jedi Fallen Order games.
Oh, really?
Yes, dude.
Oh,
Like it's
wow.
really quiet um and really faint, but it is like there is like a force essence chime kind of thing that happens. Um So I was like, whoa, like that's cool. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's awesome.
anyway, yeah. I just the reason I thought
Yeah,
of that was because like if no one returns from Kofar, like, okay, someone is gonna go investigate and like would they get some kind of a Force essence reveal of what happened or like, how would that go down? That's my like rabbit hole I
yeah,
went down. Sorry.
yeah. Well, now that you brought up the music again, I was thinking like Chimere. Like whenever we see Chimere, and he kind of sometimes you hear kind of like dark side, like almost the same like Palpatine music, like the really low end, like um not I don't know if it's done in the strings or not, but like it feels almost like Palpatine, Darth Sidious, almost the same style of music.
Yeah, no, you're
Sometimes
you're
when he's talking.
you're right. I honestly haven't been able to dig into that too much, to, like, actually, like, pick it apart and,
Yeah,
like, get a, like, see if there's, like, a recurring theme that's happening or, like, if there's any connections with anything else, you know? Because yeah, like, is the music, just like we kind of like that recurring theme that I showed, just like we get kind of like an OSHA version and a May version of it, do we have
yeah,
a Premiere version and then, like, the Sith guy version, right? Or the Teeth and the
yeah,
Smiler Ren, like so but I don't know. I haven't actually, had a chance to, like, dig into that. Thankfully,
yeah.
Michael Abels just a couple hours ago, posted that the soundtrack is out for episodes 1 through 4.
Oh, nice,
Like, it's out, like, on
nice.
streaming, finally, like, and, usually the soundtracks don't come out that quick. Or you know what?
Great.
I think they did for Ahsoka, like, kind of, like, mid, and then they released the last half later, so, yeah,
Yeah,
but anyway, that's super exciting because that means I can, like, dig into the soundtrack without having to listen past, like, dialogue and sound effects, I can just, like, listen
yeah,
to the music.
great.
So, I have some
Yeah,
homework to do.
really dissect it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for my thoughts on what's going to happen, so just because it's a crime mystery show set in Star Wars, like my wife and I watch a lot of crime mystery shows, Criminal Minds, CSI, and stuff. We
Mm,
watched all
mhm.
those. I think this is going to play out similar to that, where we saw the end result. We saw Indara die. I think we're going to see a lot of these Jedi die, if not all of them. Maybe in the next episode, maybe episode 6, possibly, but maybe sooner. I think we're going to see their deaths, and then we're going to see how everything happens. So then we're going to get like the flashback, back on their home planet, and see May's point of view, and see what happened there, and see the cover up, like who did what, and we're going to see that side of things. I think it's going to play out very much like these crime shows, where they show you the end result, the death, and then they go back and be like, okay, yeah, this person did this. Oh, we know this person did this because we figured out how you did it this way, and all that. So I think it's going to
Yeah,
play out very, yeah,
that
very
would be
similar to some of these crime shows that we see.
yeah, that would be cool. I'm not brushed up on my crime show lore, so that's good to know 'cause it is kind of panning out that way so far,
Yeah,
So it would only
or
make
even
sense.
like Ocean's 11 with George Clooney, where you saw them complete the whole heist, and then afterwards you saw like, okay, yeah, they played all these parts, like they were the 911
Mm,
operator when they called and asked for the doctor, and I
nice.
think it's gonna be like that, like, oh, this person, we didn't suspect them. They were on the planet, and she saved May or whatever, and like we'll get the reveal of the Sith character in the next episode, but then we'll see like how that happened, right? And I think it's gonna
Right,
play out like that. Like we'll see the end result, and then we'll see what led up to it on the last couple episodes.
right. Do you think that May and Osha are gonna go rogue together?
I don't know. Which that was another thing that kind of that was one thing that I thought was kind of odd, that May kind of just all of a sudden was like, nope, I don't want to kill these Jedi now. Like I get that her sister is alive, but like you think she would still want, because she was killing these Jedi because they killed her family, right?
Right. Right.
And they left her for dead, pretty much. So,
Right.
like, just because your sister's alive, does that change things? Now you don't want to kill these other Jedi. Now you don't want to please your master.
Yeah,
I thought that's the
I'd
only
have
thing I
to
find odd right now.
yeah, I'd have to go back and listen to that exchange between her and Kamir, because
Yeah.
I took it as she is, like, self-preserving, and she was saying something. I'd have to go back and listen, but, like, I took it as her if she does go after Kelnaka and kills him and stuff, and the Jedi are already on this planet, like, there's no way out, like, she's gonna be taken out either
Oh,
way,
okay.
like, she's going to not satisfy her master, and the master's gonna kill her, or the Jedi are gonna take her in and or kill her, you know? So I
Right.
took it as, like, a self-preserving act, like a strategic move, like, "Okay, how about I just turn myself
I'm not gonna.
in,
I'm
and
gonna
I can use"
hold off for now, and then
Yeah, like, I'll use the Jedi as my cover to, like, get at least I'll be alive, and I can
yeah,
deal with stuff later. That's and, like, kind of get away from the master. That's kind of how I took it, like a self-preserving strategic thing, but,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm not sure.
Either way,
I'd have
it
to
should be interesting to see what happens
yeah.
in the last half
No,
of the season.
totally,
Because like
totally.
we've been
Because
saying this entire stream, like there's a lot of questions. Like we got some answered, but not enough.
not near enough. Like,
Not near enough.
we truly don't know much of anything, dude, like, at this
No,
point. We really
no.
don't. Just speculation. So,
Yeah,
yeah, man.
yeah. A lot of speculation.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it though.
me too. Yeah.
And any last thoughts then?
Oh, man. I mean, I guess I'm pumped about the music. I'm pumped to dig into, the
Yes.
soundtrack that just released 1 through 4. That's awesome, and super helpful. But, yeah, just pumped about the soundtrack. I'm pumped about the show. Um, I think yeah, I'm, like, pretty exhausted at the discourse. Um, so just everyone, which is not to say, like, you don't have to like the Acolyte, like, sure, there's plenty of
No,
things
you
to,
don't
like,
have to.
tear apart, like, that's fine, but just, you know, protect your, mental health out there, everyone, and protect your
Yeah,
peace, and, yeah, hopefully we can continue to have fun with Star Wars. Um,
yeah,
hopefully. I guess those are
yeah.
my
Because
final
there's
thoughts.
there's a lot of toxicity around this series. A lot of
Yeah.
disrespectful comments and stuff, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's
There's
like you
some
said,
pretty,
exhausting. Like going through the comments and seeing all these comments on videos and stuff. And
yeah, man. Yeah, it's pretty abysmal right now.
yeah,
So,
yeah. But I'm enjoying it, and there's others that
yeah.
enjoy it. If you enjoy it, watch it. If you don't enjoy it, that's okay. Don't watch it. But no,
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to it.
Totally, man. And yeah, like, there are also, plenty of creators who are, you know, doing their duty as, like, a kind of counter for a positive counter force. Even creators
Yeah,
who Acolyte's not really their favorite, but they're like, "Yo, you need to chill. Like, this is not how we should be acting. Like, did we not learn anything from the prequel era, like, craziness,
yeah,
right?" So yeah, I mean,
yeah,
there's plenty of creators, trying to, be a positive counterforce to that toxicity, which is great, whether they like it or not. I mean, that's, yeah, it's just, yeah, Star Wars fandom could be better.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, but I think that'll do it for this video, this stream.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming on and chatting the Acolyte.
Dude.
Do you want to let people know where they can find you if they want to follow you and subscribe to you and watch your music? I guess your music theories, is that what you call them?
Yeah, or music breakdowns.
Music breakdowns. Yeah.
Yeah, like breakdown videos. Yeah. No, thanks for having me on, dude. Like, pleasure to be back on, hanging out with you. Like, that was a solid Acolyte recap. Midway through the season, like that, totally fitting to do that. So yeah, thank you. Super fun chatting about it. And yeah, everyone can find me mainly on Instagram at Ashton Sharrett. I also have a new podcast which I started with my friend Tim, who's over in Germany, and I'm in Florida, so crazy time difference. But anyway, started a new podcast called the Space Opera Music Podcast. You can just say SOMP for short, which is really fun word to say. But yeah, fun stuff there. And I also have a YouTube channel called Share It With Your Friends. And I basically just everything I put on Instagram, like my Star Wars music breakdown videos and analysis videos, I just do the same stuff on YouTube, you know. So yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Well, it was great having you on. Great chat and Acolyte. And we will see everyone in the next video.
Yeah. Thanks again, man.